welcome Mr. Jack Ma.
This is my first day, and this day inspired me a lot. And I had high expectation before I came to Africa, but even that, the result for a whole day today is better than I expected. And especially when I'm a very lucky person. In the past 18 years, in my apartment, I talked to 18 young people like me, that we want to build up a company using internet to help doing business easier, to using internet to support every small business, support every young people, every woman, that if they have a dream, if they have some ideas, we will enable them to make their dream true and sell their products all over the world. That was year 1999 in my apartment. Well, very few people believe that, but we made it happen in only 18 years. I'm a very, very lucky person. And people say, have you ever learned business before? Have you done business before? Have you learned MBAs? No, I have never learned any knowledge about how to do business. I never got even one day of training of computer. I still even to today, I don't know how computer works. A lot of people challenge me, how can you run such a big e-commerce company without knowing anything about the knowledge, without anything about the financing and marketing? And I say, this is because I know people. I know what people want. I know what people don't want. And this is where I learned that. I learned my experience of working with people when I was a student in the university. I was not a good student. That's why I really don't like a lot of good students. I'm always like among the 10 or 15, never got the number 1, number 2 in my class from primary school to university. I failed 3 times for the universities. And finally, I got into the university. I still tell myself, I spend more time. Not try to be the number 1, but try to be the number 1 person that can help and work with people. I was elected as the chairman of the Students' Union of my university, and later become the chairman of the Students' Union of whole our city. Our city has over 100,000 students, and I was the chairman of that university, of that union. My job is to work with the people, listen to the students, do what I can do. This, I learned how to work with people, because at that time we don't have any money. All right? The only thing you want to win the respect is by supporting other people. And when I graduated, I learned a lot from my job, my first job. I was trained to be a high school teacher. And because I was supposed to be one of the best students in the school, so I was assigned to teach in university for 6 years. And I know one of the secrets of being a good teacher is always to finish class 5 minutes earlier. No matter how wonderful you teach, if you have 5 more minutes teaching, students don't like you. If you finish earlier, efficient, and teach the students and share with the students how to learn instead of putting all the knowledge in their mind, writing all the things on blackboard, you will never be popular. I was selected as one of the best teachers in the university. But one thing I learned from teachers, later become a CEO, is that a good teacher always expects his students to do better than him. The teacher wants his students to be good. I want this student be a banker, that be a mayor, that be a scientist. You don't want your students, this one bankrupted, that one in jail. You always expect your students to be better. This is what I learned when I become an entrepreneur. I always want to hire the good people who are smarter than I am, and always making sure that they are better than I am. They always hope that they're better than expected. And if you want them better, training them, disciplining them, supporting them. So I learned a lot. The thing I learned most is being a teacher. I call myself CEO, Chief Education Officer of the company. So in my life, I'm telling people my age. I'm 53. In my past years, I'm always a good student. Keep on learning. You don't have to be the best, but you have to know who is better than you are and work with him. And always be a good teacher. A good teacher is share the knowledge and expect the other people better than you are. So these are the qualities that I learned and to be a CEO. So go back to this campus is always what I want. I remember 1994, the day when I decided to leave college, go to do a business. My president said, why you want to go do something that called internet? There's no internet in China at that time. And why you want to? Because I said, President, I've been elected as the best teachers for university for 3 years. Everything I told my students are the things I learned from books. So if I go and build up something and then go back, I can be a better teacher. This is my original thinking. I never thought I would be rich. I asked my wife when I started my business, I say, do you want your husband to be a rich person or to be a person that be respected? She said, you will never be rich. She's right, because nobody thought, my parents never thought I would be rich, because I don't have a gene of being rich. So even to today, because it's true, my schoolmates, my classmates, my teachers, my parents, nobody thought I would be rich. This guy been failed for so many times. How can you be rich? I never thought I would be rich. Even to today, people say, Jack, you are one of the richest people in China, in the world. I think this is not my money. To me, it's just to think I'm living in a dream. When you have a 1 million, that's your money. When you have a 20 million, that's the problem. You have to think about the valuation. Where should I put the money? Invest in real estate or buy stocks or invest in VC. Most of them, they were gone. When you have more than $1 billion, that's the money belongs to the society. And people in the society trust that you can spend the money better than government. So they give you the money and do better. So I thought I have the responsibility to spend the money better, more efficient. This is what I did. So my wife said, be a person that can be respected, not be a person that be rich. And this is all I want to do. And I'm sharing a lot of ideas with young people. How can you be successful? And how not to fail. And the third, how can be respected. I'm not a bad person respect. A lot of people in China don't like me because they say I destroy their business. I never destroy anybody's business. Normally people destroy themselves. If you want to be successful, you should have a high EQ. You know, IQ, EQ, and there's another called LQ, the Q of love. If you want to be successful, you must have a high EQ, because a person with a high EQ knows how to work with people, how to understand people, how to support people. And if you do not want to fail, normally a lot of people get rich quickly and losing money quickly because they don't have IQ. IQ is intellectual knowledge. You learn. When you have a good knowledge, you know where the knowledge, you will always pursue knowledge to protect your business, protect your people. And when you have high IQ, but the world is very fair. Most people have high EQ, normally have a low IQ. They don't want to learn because they're smart. They're street smart. They don't want to be academic. Right? But a lot of people, very academic, high IQ, but they have a terrible EQ. We have seen a lot of in the university, any university in the world, right? The top one students normally have high IQ but terrible EQ. But they never feel they got disappointed. But even if you have a high EQ and IQ, you made a lot of money, you made a fortune, or you be successful, you become a government person or whatever. But you may not be respected because you don't have a high LQ. The LQ is care for others. Love the others. Respect the future. Respect the young people. So these are 3 Qs that I think we need to have. So when you're a student, spend more time taking care of the other people. Join the activities that helping people and spend time on learning. I think this is very, very critical. And I would say that people like me, I'm from nobody. My father was pretty poor. My father and mother, the pay when I was young, their pay put together is $6 a month. 6, no more than, the best of time is $8. They have to feed 4 people. My grandfather, no job, me, my brother, and my sister. It was tough. And even if I failed so many times, one thing I want to tell you is that failure does never stop me and trained me. A lot of people failure and then they complain, oh my God, nobody helped me. I don't have this. Why those people don't help me? Why cannot borrow money from the banks? Why I'm not born in a Bill Gates family? People have a lot of stupid complaints. I have these stupid complaints. All the complaints today young people have, I have them. I had them. I complain Bill Gates, I complain Microsoft, Oracle, all these companies taking all of our jobs because we don't have a chance. And later I found complaint does not work. I learned from mistake why people should help you. Who are you? Why people should help you? Nobody help you, that is very common. People help you, that is uncommon. Those people give you the help. Think about, this is the trust. This is how you did well in your EQ. Because you care for people. Because you have something good, and people start to help you. I was rejected for so many times, as I said this morning. Over 30 jobs applied for rejected. I applied for a KFC. 24 people, classmates went there together. 23 accepted. I was rejected. 5 people went for police, for a job in police. 4 people accepted. I was failed. And my cousin and I waited for a 2 hours long queue to be the waiter of the 4-star hotel in my city. In a very, very hot day, my cousin's score was much lower than mine. He was accepted, and I was rejected. So, is it fun? No, not fun at all. It's very painful. But I get used to it. Everybody, remember, you have to get used to failure. If you cannot get used to failure, just like a boxing, if you cannot get used to being hit, how can you win? So I get used to that. And today, I'm surely experienced with a lot of entrepreneurs. I've got a Huban University training entrepreneurs. The thing we teach the entrepreneurs are different from Harvard MBA. The MBA teach everybody successful stories. When you read too many successful stories, people got it crazy. I can be successful. When you share a lot of failure stories, you learn. So when I start Alibaba, I give failure stories, cases to every of my colleagues. Let them read it. Let them, we discuss. No matter how smart you are in your business, in your way, you will make the same mistake again and again. The way we share the failure story, not want you to avoid mistakes, is teach you how to face the mistakes when you're in trouble. So as young people, in our life, there is always opportunity. There is always chance. There is always a failure. The thing is how you survive from failure. When you're rejected, how you survive from that. This is how I learned. Even to today, people say, Jack, you are probably one of the most influential people. Anything you want to do, you can do it. No. A lot of things I cannot do. A lot of things. I failed. And I worry much more than I was 1995, or worry much more when I 1999 when I built up my company. Because at that time, I only take care for 18 people. Today, we have, in our company, 56,000 people. And today, in our company, when we start to do business, I'll tell you this, the interesting story. How can I do e-commerce? Because 1999, year 2001, nobody believed that they can buy and sell things online. Nobody trusted. You don't have money, you don't have a credit rating system, you don't have a payment, you don't have logistics, you don't have internet. The internet speed was so slow. But look at Kenya. When I arrived yesterday, the speed, oh my God, I have never seen such a luxury speed. Much better than America. But I bet a lot of people still complain the speed. Right? Because those people love to complain, they complain all their lives. The speed was bad, nothing. The government is not ready, and sometimes, not sometimes, most of the times, if the government did not know what's going on, it's the opportunity. If your people around you does not agree with you, that's the opportunity. If everybody love it, if everybody want to do it, there's no opportunity for you because the other people are smarter than you are. So I would say nobody trust internet. And I told 18 founders, I say, I believe internet will be the future. I believe China will have e-commerce. Because they say, then there is no payment. We say, let's build the payment. And they say, there's no logistic. Let's build the logistic. And there's no government support. Let's say, it's good. They will support someday. Taobao, year 2003. Very interesting. I have 7 people. I say, guys, tomorrow we're going to launch the Taobao. But we don't have anything to sell. Can you go back home and search for something so we can list it on our site with the people to come to buy? Everybody came back. 7 people, we gathered 21 products. We listed on the website. We waited for 72 hours, nobody come to buy. So we buy among ourselves. Testing the products. And then several weeks later, somebody come to sell. Because nobody want to buy, people come to sell, list something. We buy all the things. For the first 2 weeks, we bought, 2 months, we bought all the garbage. Full of because we want to making sure something that you can buy and sell. From that day to last year, we sold 550 billion US dollars. That is ranking 21 countries GDP-wise in the world. We are a little bit bigger than Argentina. We created more than 33 million jobs for China. By the way, Minister, we have delivered over 65 million packages per day. 65 million packages per day all over China and the world. This thing, nobody believed it. We did not believe it. I thought internet would be big, but I never thought it would be that big. But say, guys, it was big compared to yesterday, but compared to tomorrow, future, it is tiny. I believe 80% to 90% of the business in the future will be online. Today we call people entrepreneurs. Few Many years later, we call netrepreneurs because everybody has to be online, called the net entrepreneurs. Today, you can only sell in Nairobi. You're a good, successful person here. But in the future, if you cannot sell your products all over Africa, if you cannot sell things across the countries, you're not a business people. The world is changing very fast. And I'm not scaring you guys. I worry about the new technology. This is the third technology revolution that a human being face. The first technology revolution takes about 50 years. Second, 50 years. This is 50 years. We're going to have another 30 years, which is very important. The first technology revolution caused World War I. Second technology revolution caused World War II. And this is the third technology revolution. The third technology revolution reduced the human energy. So we know human are not as strong as machine. The second technology revolution released the distance, speed of human beings. So we know we can never run faster than trains. This technology revolution released the human brains. So don't be scared. Machine will be smarter than we are. And imagine, past 20 years, we make people like a machine. In the future, we'll make machine like a people. And data, internet, artificial intelligence, machine intelligence, all the things coming up, the world is facing big challenges. A lot of jobs that we think 5 years later it will be great jobs, or it's going to disappear. And this is the challenge to the world. But this is also the opportunity of the world. I think change is the best opportunity. People complaining is the best opportunity. A company, if you want to be successful, is not how much you are. We got how much money you have. Because we see so many companies have so much money, they are not necessarily can survive. It's what problem you can solve for the world. One of the things I want to share with you that my specialty of as a CEO of the company, I always think about the future. I think about what the world will look like, what China will look like, what my neighbors will look like, what's the problem they will have in 5 or 10 years. If this is the problem that's going to happen to China, if this is the problem that's going to happen to my customers, if this is the problem to my neighbors, if I can fix that, if I can prepare now, 5 years later, I will be a successful person. Think about the future. Do not think about, if I do this, I'm going to be very successful. No, if I do this, I can solve a lot of problems at that time. That is the value that we bring. The world is challenging. And a lot of people complain, where's the opportunity? Opportunity always exists in the place where people complain. When people complaining, think about, how can I solve it? If I can solve it, I have the chance. And where's the opportunity? When change comes, that's the opportunity. If there's no change, big business, rich people, powerful people, always there. Think about how internet can solve Kenya problem, how internet can solve the African problems. Internet, I don't think any small business, any young people in Africa, you have a few opportunities to sell your things across the other country. Only big companies have. So I think this is the greatest opportunity we have. And I think, as I said, people hate globalization. People don't like global trade. I like globalization. I'm a strong believer of globalization. But unfortunately, last 20 years, globalization was controlled by 60,000 big companies. Most of the young people, small business, women, developing countries don't have this chance. But internet comes, this will change. This is what I believe. I use the internet to empower everybody. So I would say that we are lucky people. We are lucky because we're entering into a very, very interesting period. And I would say that Africa has the most. I'm not coming here trying to inspire you. I'm coming here to tell the truth that this morning I found Africa as much more opportunity because you have young people. You have the whole world today is worried. I don't know why. Everybody's worried. The whole world today is puzzled. But Africa, I see people have a passion. People have ideas. People say, this is the future. Because I think we have nothing to lose. Europe has a lot to lose. America has a lot to lose. Those countries worry about losing. They have a lot of puzzle. But Africa, I don't think you have anything to lose. And I heard that a lot of, Africa, there are so many opportunities, so many complaints, so many problems. That is the opportunity. If you want to be a big company, solve big problems. If you want to be a small company, solve small problems, complaints. All the people, I'm lucky enough, I'm traveling around the world. I see so many successful people, politicians, business people, scientists, artists. I find one quality that all the successful people share. They never complain. They are always optimistic. And the second, they always partner with good people. So this is something we are entering into a very interesting time. And Africa, you are the youngest continent in the world. The average age I heard is only 19 years old. That was amazing. That's the future. I'm calling on every country, pay special attention to next 30 years. Every technology, the first 20 years is about technology company. In the past 20 years, internet companies, Google, Facebook, Alibaba, right? Amazon, these companies control. These companies very successful. Next 30 years may not necessarily these companies. For sure, it's not internet company will win next 30 years. If those companies, those young people using the internet well will win. Car was not invented in America, but American people using car best. Electricity was not invented in America, but Americans using electricity best. So Africa, people say we have a terrible internet infrastructure, but I think this is the chance. Why e-commerce in China grow better than America? Because we don't have sophisticated e-commerce infrastructure like in America. In America, there are a lot of supermarkets and malls and everything is so good. China, no. We don't have a payment system. We don't have a credit rating system. Because we don't have that, so we start with high jump. China, when I started the e-commerce, people say, even China don't have a telephone. Why you believe internet will happen? Yeah, we don't have a telephone, then we have a mobile phones. Nobody expect mobile phone growth so fast. Africa, today, I think more than 60% of the people in Africa have a mobile phone. The mobile phone today is much more powerful than the PC. I'm lucky I did not study PC. With a mobile phone, you connect to the world, right? So this is what I feel that Africa, that the poor infrastructure may giving you the opportunity that you never even imagine. So the thing that also I want to say, I heard so much about Kenya and Africa. Is it the forest, the animals, the wild. You are guys living in the paradise. Think about China. China is the kitchen of the world. Very dirty now. The air pollutions. So Africa developed. You don't have to follow the other countries' model. Africa should be Africa. Using the new technology, protect the environment, protect the animals. It's easy to build buildings, but it is difficult to call the animal bags. It's impossible, right? Tell me where in this world you can see so many elephants flying, still walking. Tell me where in this world you can still smell the real atmosphere, the real air. That's what, now I understand when I'm arriving why so many people come to Africa every year and go on and on. There's no business here, but you have a business to leverage that. And think about it. If you want to build up a manufacturer base, think in a different way. It's impossible to copy China. And even if you copy China, you have no future. Because the world manufacturer is shifting from B2C to C2B. Normal way is business think about something and sell to the consumers. In the future, because of data technology, every manufacturer should be C2B, consumer to business. The manufacturer has to make their products smart, tailor-made, not large scale. China grew in the period of large container, massive assembly line. Future assembly line is not how many T-shirts you can make for one assembly line with 1 hour. In the future is how many different T-shirts you can make, how many tailor-made T-shirts you can make. So this is something the world is changing. Africa have to think about the way that Africa is good at. And I would say I would do anything to change if I can be younger. Tell you one thing, year 1999, I'm lucky enough to find one of the early founders of Yahoo. He was number 40 employees of Yahoo. He joined us, become the CTO of the company. And I asked him, what do you want? He said, Jack, oh, you guys are young. I would spend $1 million to buy 1 year. I said, I sell all my age to you. Today I realize that young age is something that is the best opportunity. Don't be scared of failure. My assets is so many failure stories. There are a lot of stories about us, about me, but none of the books I read about me. Someday, I may write a book. The book's name is Alibaba 1001. This is the best assets that we need to have. Learn from the mistakes. Learn from other mistakes. Not because you want to avoid the mistakes. Because when you face these mistakes, you know how to face it, how to challenge it. And this is critical. So I want to share with all the young people here, students, never give up. There's always opportunity there. It's easy to give up. Keep the hope. The world is challenging, but this is opportunity for young people. E-commerce, internet is the opportunity for a country like us, Kenya, China, Africa. The best of people say, well, e-commerce, China's no good. The best place in the world for e-commerce, where? Tell me. I think Europe. You have everything. But why Europe has no good internet companies or e-commerce company? They worry too much. They worry about privacy, security, laws, government ready this, government not ready that. When you worry too much, you're scared to move forward. Don't worry. If you make mistake, try again. And find the good people. Innovation is not from the government. Innovation is from your customer, from the market. And finally, if you want to be an entrepreneur, I give you advice. Always remember, customer number 1, employee number 2, shareholder number 3. This is different from America, shareholder number 1. I believe customer number 1. If you make your customer happy, they will pay the money. If you make your employees happy, they will be creative, innovative. If your customer employee happy, the shareholder will be happy. Do not spend a lot of time on talking to your shareholders. Spend more time to talking to your customers. Spend more time talking to your employees. And making sure it's the employee share the vision. Making sure they are great. and also making sure when you hire your employees, find the good people. Find the people who are smarter than you are. Find the people who can be your boss. You think this guy will be my boss in 5 years, hire him. This is the secret. And also the last secret is making sure hire enough women on the internet time. This is one of the secret source of success for Alibaba. We have 47% of the women, 47 to 48% of the colleagues in our company are women. We have 33% of the senior management of our company are women. Not because we want to keep women. We find women can do much better job on the internet time, on the e-commerce. When I start a business, I say e-commerce is not about a computer to talk to computer. E-commerce is about a people talk to people, but computer is just the proxy, is the front edge. Women take care of the others better than men. Women understand. Women have much high EQ than men. When you have IQ, you have to care about the others. See, when you're online, the engineers, I've got a lot of engineers, they have a high IQ. They make good program, but they never care whether the program is user-friendly or not. But women make them very user-friendly. And women really care about the customers behind. This make our, because people like me have no background of technology. The only thing I want to do is make my customer happy. How can I make customer happy? We got a lot of people, and we have women engineers, women CFO, women CEO, women president. So keep on that. Remember, this is so important. This is why we have seen so many women presidents, women prime ministers. I think we're going to have a women Secretary General of the United Nations. And we need that. And a women chancellor. So that is something I want to share with you. I'm not a politician, I'm a business people. As a business people, we're result driven. We're efficiency driven. We're fair driven. We're result driven because you have to get result. Otherwise, you only talk. No result, you die. And for advice I give to Kenya, Africa, is speed up. You know what I'm saying? For one day, I get some feeling. We have a vision, but you have to. And the second is efficiency driven. And the third, business people can never force people to do business with me. It's about a fair trade. So I would say, let's move up. Africa will be the next driving source or driving energy of the world after today's Asia. And this is what I truly believe. And I come here, I don't want to sell anything to you guys. I want to help you to sell your great stuff to the world using internet. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Please. Wonderful. I'm going to ask CS Joe Musharu to join me, Secretary General Dr. Mukisa Kitui, and obviously our host, the Vice Chancellor. So, how was that? Wasn't it? I'm just checking all my mics are in place. My mics are in place. If it isn't, you know me. Wonderful. I got microphones here. Do I have microphones here? Yes, I do. There. Awesome. Okay, I am going to start from this end of... Wow. Yeesh. Okay, you got nice glasses. Can I start with you? So remember, rules of the house, your name, where you're from, question 2. All right? We'll start with the gentleman over there. Wonderful.
Yeah. Hello. Hi, my name is Ahmed Shafi, and I'm directing my question to Mr. Jack Ma. I would like to use Chinese if you don't mind. Okay. 马先生你好，我叫小飞。
Keep going.
OK， 你是我全世界最喜欢的土豪。我去过中国，然后我在那边的时候，我觉得生活太简单、太舒服了。所以我因为那边的副官都是炒一炒或者这样子，所以我现在问支付宝能到肯尼亚吗
Okay.
Yeah. I can do it in English. Who don't understand?
Yeah,
I think you better.
Okay. So my name is Ahmed Shafi. Chinese name is Xiaofei, and I started by I really love Mr. Jack Ma. He's like the best inspirational story. And my question is like when I used to be in China before, and I found life over there so smooth when it comes to like transactions and stuff. So I wanted to ask if Alipay could come Kenya. That was my question.
Thank you. Yeah, first, this is something amazing that people keep on asking me, especially in America, so why China developed quicker than USA in some ways on the e-commerce and internet, and why China in the past 30 years, from nobody to the second largest economy of the world. Very important thing is China young people start to learn, respect the other culture. When you today pick up 100 Chinese people on the street in Beijing, Shanghai, or any cities, you will find that 80 of them can speak at least 30 English words. But when you go to America, if you pick up 100 American people and ask them how many of them can speak 10 Chinese words, very few. This is a good thing about learning make progress. So I really thank you for speaking the Chinese. Perfect pronunciation, better than mine. But my question is, will Alipay come to Africa? Yes, we would love to. And we're looking for partners. Because Alibaba model is that we do not want to globalize Alibaba. We want to globalize e-commerce. And we are not an e-commerce company. Amazon is an e-commerce company. Amazon, they buy, they sell. We do not buy and we do not sell. We enable seller. We enable you to buy and sell. So what we are doing is try to globalize e-commerce. So we want to do 5 things. We want to enable everybody global sell. We want to enable everybody global buy. We want to enable everybody to global pay, enable everybody to global deliver, and enable everybody to global travel. So Alipay definitely are interested in Kenya and Africa. But the very important is that we want to find partners, enable them. We give the technology, we give the know-how, and we give the money. And we want the payment in Kenya is the Kenya company, not Alibaba company in China. This is only in this way we can create a value for the local. So we are talking to people. We are looking for, and my trip this time is coming here to learn. And I found this morning talking to the entrepreneurs, they are very good at building up the platform. And some of the logistic companies, some of the payment companies, we are excited. I think we will try to help these guys. We want to come. Yeah.
Thank you. Really? Somebody still wants to ask a question on that side after, Ahmed asked in Chinese? All right. We will go with you, sir. We'll go with you, sir. And I'll probably just do one more from that side and do a few from here, a few from here. I've got to cross the room as best as I can. Sir, your name?
Okay, my name is Mark Zheng, and I'm Chinese.
You can see that.
Obviously.
His name is... Okay, first, welcome Jack Ma coming here. Yeah, I'm so excited. Just now, one of my friends mentioned Alipay. Actually, I'm still here for a few months. I can see I'm using Alipay right now. I can use it here. Yeah, using internet, but just between Alipay account. Now in my phone, Alipay, and I just introduce it to some of my friends around here. It is so amazing. I cannot explain it more.
Yeah, so what's your question? I don't want you
Yes.
to advertise for me. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so right.
I love that.
My question is, just now also you mentioned, yeah, there are so many chances here. And also we have a subsidiary company here. Also we find the chances, also we find the challenges. So I really hope Mr. Jack Ma can give the Chinese companies here how could we develop better and longer for the rest of the time. Thank you.
Giving some advice for the Chinese companies here, how can they do better here, right?
Yeah, longer and better.
Longer and better. Good, I like the word longer and better. Because most of the companies, when they go to the other country, they think about making money. They think about getting resources, cheap labor, cheap materials. Cheap labor, cheap materials can never be longer and better. If you go to other country, you have to think like local company. Create jobs for local people. Pay tax local people. Enrich the local people. The globalization in the past years, in the past 30 years, is about getting cheaper cost, cheaper labor, cheaper the things. Next 30 years is enable creating jobs. So if I come here, I would think about what are the things that I can do here that the local companies cannot do. And they must do. Do something that nobody want to do it. And by the way, many people ask me, well, Jack, it's so difficult to do business in the other country like China. We never have a chance to do business in China. First, I want to say do business anywhere is difficult. Do business across the nation, any country is difficult. Any village, any city is difficult. But sending the entrepreneurs there, not send the professional managers. Most of the professional managers people send to the other country, they make their boss happy instead of making the customer happy. Spending time making the customer happy. If you're a Chinese company, making sure your local customers are really happy. And hire the local people. Make them, expect them better. In this way, you can be long and happy. By the way, 21st century, every company have to think about 3 things, then you can sustain. First, inclusive. Second, sustainable. 3 is happy and healthy. You must be a happy company. You must be a healthy company. These are the 3 elements you do business. You think about.
Wonderful. I am going to take a question from this side, from the lady in the dress. Where is my... Then I'm moving to this end. Okay? Wow.
I'm Martin Jua. I'm the founder of Lab that deals with artificial intelligence and machine learning. My question to you will be directed to what kind of opportunities does the Institute of Data and Technology by Alibaba have for founders or startups here for collaboration or opportunities for learning? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just talking to this morning ministers. I'm talking to the Dr. Katui about the, this is what I learned today. I think you have so many great entrepreneurs. The infrastructure is good. The only thing is probably a lot of know-how. So I would love to discuss with the chancellors that Alibaba, the same thing. In the past 20 years, we have a lot of Alibaba schools, Taobao schools, universities to teach, to partner with universities and the government, training courses. And this is something that I would go back to explore, that we probably should having more training courses together with ANCTAD. And one of the things we announced, we're going to announce tomorrow, that we will invite 200 to 500 entrepreneurs from Africa go to my city, Hangzhou, to have full training, understanding what e-commerce, internet, how government work, how we do it, the technology side, know-how side, entrepreneur side, and then send them back to China, Africa, so they can train the trainers. And some of the training courses we would love to work with the university. So, because today most of the computing science, the way they teach, probably like 20 years ago, which is good. But what is the future cloud computing, artificial intelligence, machine intelligence? What are the new the technology that we should start to share with the university students now? And we should not wait. So this is what I think we will partner. It's also about partnership.
My microphone people, I'm going to start with the gentleman in the suit. I'm going to move to the lady with the black bow, and then I'm going, no, that's not you, sir, sorry. Then I'm going to move to the gentleman without a blazer. So blazer, bow tie, without blazer, okay?
Hi, Jack. My name is Oscar. I am an entrepreneur, and I hope to one day speak to you as an equal at Davos. For years now, I have really wanted to meet you. You've been an inspiration for a huge percentage of
question.
My question, very good. My question is this: there's an issue I wanted to hear your voice on, and it's on the whole African mentality of building a business. You will find that African businessmen, African entrepreneurs, yes, are trying to solve an African problem, but the biggest companies in the world right now, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the Alibabas, they're solving a global problem. In 1999, in your video, you told your team that America will beat you in the hardware, but they won't catch you on the software because you'll be at the same level. Africa should be playing at that level. Every problem we solve, like M-Pesa, should be able to be replicated throughout the world.
Question.
Why is it that this is not happening? Why is it that African technology companies are not experiencing exponential growth? Why is there no African company that's standing with Google, with Microsoft, with Alibaba and saying, we too can stand at an equal footing? Thank you.
Thank you. I don't have the answer for the why. I need the professors. The professors, they have answers. Entrepreneurs only have action. We prove it by action. We do not prove it by theory. 20 years ago, people asking me this question, Chinese company never have this and never have that, and why the American company have this and that, and then, well, I don't have an answer. But today, we are the top 10 companies, high-tech company in the world. We prove it by action, by serving people, by think global. African young people, I would say, you guys, a lot of people, most of the people don't know themselves. This is the power of data time, the data technology. Data will make you know yourself better. So I think the Africa, no matter you believe or not, 20 years later, with the support infrastructure, with such great universities, with the intact, all the infrastructure, all the things, The only thing, as I said, result-driven. Speed up, and you will have chance. And I have a full confidence in 20 years because you don't have that many burdens like other countries. You have the chance. How to make it happen? Entrepreneurs make it happen. And then make all the professors write the successful case studies in the MBA schools. Finally, I tell you one thing. It's a very interesting. When we competed with eBay, year 2003, eBay, their market cap at that time is 86 billion US dollars market cap. We are tiny. And people give me a book called Marketplaces. It's a success story, how eBay win USA, how they defeat Yahoo. So people give me a book, say, Jack, read the book. And then one day you will be at eBay. I threw the book in the garbage. And I say, let eBay read how we win them. Africa, young people, you will definitely, if you think about, not think about learning from the competitors, if you got to make the young African people or normal people, how to make them happy using the services, using technology, you one day will win. This is all I believe. Yeah.
So, Jack, one of the things is that many of the young people wait for government. They wait for infrastructure, they wait for regulation, they wait for so many of these things, and they feel that we need to do something fast before they can be successful. So what's your view? Because I feel that's one of the hindrances.
I think this is not most of the young people in Africa. Most of the young people, the whole world wait. That's why the entrepreneurs, if you're a real entrepreneur, you never wait.
The lady with the black bow tie.
Because you are not an entrepreneur. That's what I say. If you wait, you're not entrepreneur. You are not inspirational. So this is what I say. Government, for sure, they are late. If every infrastructure is ready, why they need you? That's just all you ask yourself.
That's a valid question. Thank you. Lady.
Hello. Okay. My name is Achola Ogwenge. I am African and I'm very passionate about Africa. Very. And I know Africa is the future, and I'm glad that you said what is good, what is Africa good at. As we speak, statistics show that majority of the African people are either farmers or pastoralists. And statistics also show that agriculture represents 15% of the continent's total GDP, and that amounts to $100 billion US. So when we're talking about e-commerce, my question is directed to both Dr. Mukisa Kitui and Jack Ma. Capacity in UNCTAD, and Jack Ma in your capacity as e-commerce guru. So most of Africans are either farmers, pastoralists, and GDP is really, it's big on the agriculture. And that's a sector that can be targeted. Can there be ways in which e-commerce can improve agriculture? Because we're looking at the basic person, the African person. As we sit right here, the community is not represented. And the community, they have a voice. What can we do that this common person, this common African, can actually be able to put and sell their sell their cattle, if it's cattle, sell their animal products? And to Doctor, I wanted to ask you, can we tap into our potential in agriculture and raise funds to improve our infrastructure as Africans? Because that can take us a long way instead of waiting for so much.
If I may just say a few things about the general statement. Agriculture is holding a lot of people, like giving their livelihoods to a lot of people. But in Kenya, services is bigger than agriculture. We put more money as budget into agriculture than in services industry. But services produces more money for the taxpayer, for the tax authority, than agriculture. Now, the linkage between agriculture and e-commerce is automatic. First of all, there are some things already happening in Kenya like Sokoni intelligence, that you can know which market exists for what product at what price. That is a phenomenon that is liberating. But perhaps the most important liberation you already have from internet access and agriculture is the fact that the traditional African woman who toiled every morning, milked her cow, delivered milk at a collection point, always received payment sent to the account of the owner of the land where the cow is kept, her husband. M-Pesa allows the woman who delivers milk to receive money to have mobile phone. It makes a whole lot of difference to the livelihood of a family and of the woman when there's direct appropriation of the proceeds of her labor. That is technology into agriculture. There are so many different things globally. The future of agriculture is totally intricately related to big data, both in terms of trends of the consumer preferences, in market access phenomena. But Africa has a problem. We pay so much attention. We mobilize so much of our intellectual resources negotiating how to sell to Europe, coffee and tea to Europe. And when the biggest opportunity is how to sell maize to Uganda. The biggest market for African agriculture is in Africa. The biggest challenge to African agriculture is how to reduce the on-farm storage and the attendant waste in the post-harvest period. The biggest political problem is how to stop the opportunistic middleman who buys at a at a buyer's market when families need school fees in January and the cereals board has not paid. He buys at a quarter the price of what he's buying from the farmer 3 months later. Dealing with storage and cushioning the farmer from the middleman. These are challenges that a combination of sound policy and ICT-based knowledge solutions can deal with, and it's already working. Globally, now, projections of weather conditions and how it influences shifting in different forms of agriculture. How Mauritius abandoned growing wheat and went to sugarcane because of greater resilience after a storm. These are all the basics of what's already happening and can be scaled up.
I absolutely agree with Dr. Katui about agriculture. Agriculture was neglected. The industry was neglected in the industry period and IT. But what I say that we've been testing a lot in China about how to do agriculture e-commerce. Agriculture, there are a lot of so-many middlemen, right? Even getting all the fertilizers, got the seeds, and the cost is expensive. Reaching the market is even more complicated. So what e-commerce can do is we can making farmers reach the consumer, reach the buyers directly instead of the wholesalers. And we're getting all the materials for agriculture cheaply and efficient. And we are doing that very well. I give you an example, not only locally. We are making sure that every farmer knows where his vegetable or pigs go to which family. And it is very possible, and we're doing that. Give you two examples. Today, not agriculture leaving from a village to the town. We're go cross-trading. Years ago, the American ambassador to China came to us, say, Jack, can you help us selling our Washington State cherries, the fruits, to China? I said, wow, this is very challenging. But we start to sell. The first year, we sell more than 80 tons to 60,000 families in China. They directly, within 72 hours, we placed the order, they start to pick up the cherries and send to China, distribute into 60,000 big families. This year, we sold 20,000 tons of cherries from America to China. A lot of farmers in America are so happy. By the way, the Prime Minister of Canada came to me and said, Jack, we have a lot of fishermen having lobsters. We don't know how to sell because we don't have so many people eat lobsters in our Canadian. So can you help to sell to China? So we sold 96,000 lobsters within 1 day. For stopping, there's no lobster for that city for almost 2 months. we sell across the ocean. So think about today, of course, when you don't have enough good payment, when you don't have big data, enough data, when you don't have logistics, this seems hopeless. But when you build up that, you will be surprised by how much e-commerce, internet can help the farmers. And I'm confident of that.
Wonderful. So I'm going to make two announcements here. I'm going to insist you get to your question because there are still people who want to ask. Then I need to ask members of the press corps who want to set up for their press conference. Now would be a good time to get up and start moving. To the gentleman with the big gold blazer, I have no other way to identify you. Last question in this segment, I'll be moving here. All right? I can whip back, you know, but let's do this. Sir, your question, your name.
Thank you very much. I'm Julius Omamba, a student of commerce. As a young entrepreneur, we tend to fail so much. Once we graduate from university and maybe begin business, we tend to fail and then we forget and maybe get depressed. How did you survive these failures that you had now and again? Thank you very much.
I don't catch the question.
They fail quite often as university students, so they think how you failed, but how did you get up and actually continue to?
Okay, so I feel a lot of times how I continued because I have no choices. I would, you know, I would, if I have a condition to complete, because I complain, I still have to looking for a job. I still have to try. So don't give yourself excuse. As my friend Mr. New always said, people the loser always find excuses. People who succeed always find ways. And I'm a believer that there is always a way ahead. If I fail, there must be something wrong with me, not the others.
Okay, that's powerful. That's powerful. I'd like to move this way. Where's my microphone? There you are, ma'am. I will ask you to start with the lady in pink. Move to the lady next to her. So two girls in a row. And then the gentleman right behind. I can see you. Don't worry. I'll come to you. All right? Lady in pink. Question. Right? Question.
I'm Tracy Muley, CEO Shuja Delivery. My question is for Jack Ma. How can we reach you if we need investments or future partnerships? Thank you.
Yeah, my assistant Jason is there. Jason? Yeah, Jason probably should share with the email address and all the things, contact. But the other thing is that we need a mechanism to help. It's not like a one person. I think Jason will be overwhelmed by all the emails. But I think I will work with the Dr. Katui and ministers, and then probably by sending entrepreneurs to China, and we will. I'm thinking about like African venture capitalist fund or whatever that can do something here, because I think the potential here is big. It's something that I told them, and I'm bringing a lot of Chinese famous business leaders here. I think they are also fascinated by the passion you've got. I said to them that it's difficult to find another Jack Ma in China, but there are a lot of Jack Ma's in Africa. They always say, why we did not invest here 10, 15 years ago? So there's a chance to come together, we investor. So let me think about something that make a mechanism that supporting more entrepreneurs can do better. As I said, it's not my money. It's the society's money. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Zakal from Nicelin Technologies, a printing company. My question is, business advice, how did you deal competition? Like, I work for a printing company. It's next, there is another upstairs, there is another printing company. So, what are your strong points? How did you make to stay on top of your game?
All right, good question. So when you do business, if you're scared of competition, don't do the business. Rule number 1. Rule number 2, competition is the most fun part of business. When you get bored, find a competitor. This is what I mean seriously. If you compete with the people, with competitors, you feel very painful. Your competitors feel very happy. Something wrong with you. Normally, you should be happy. Competitors will be very painful. So I say, I never cry. We make competitors cry. By improving the services, by empowering making sure your people are smarter. Not your equipment is better. Normally, if your people are smarter, then your product will be better. If the people do not change, products will never change. If you spend more money, buy equipment, this is easier to compete. Don't compete on prices, compete on the values. The third, which is very important, competition. Think big. When I was in my apartment, I told 18 founders, guys, who's our competitor? They say, they're everywhere. I said, no, they're in Silicon Valley. That's the company Microsoft, IBM, Walmart. They say, we are tiny, how can we be that? That is the examples. If we can be 1% of that big company, we'll be bigger than our neighbors. So when you think about your competitor, it's not the people around it. You have to learn from your neighbor competitors how they can do, why they do better than you are. But meanwhile, think big. I've been doing that, even to today. And one day, I think like 10 years ago, the China largest TV station asked me, Jack, who is a competitor? I say, in my telescope, I never see any competitors. So many competitors got very upset. You are so arrogant, right? Why there's no competitor? I said, I use my telescope looking for examples. Why should I looking for competitors? If your competitors around you all the time, looking for examples. If there's no competitors, looking for competitors. You know what I'm saying? When you are surrounded by competitors, looking for examples, good guys. When you have no competitors, looking for competitors. That will improve you.
Wonderful. Joe, did you want to add something to that? No? All right. The gentleman in the gray. All right. I think. Microphone, it will work. Don't worry, it will work.
I'd like most Honorable Sakaja, one of our senators over here, who's vying for Senate in Nairobi, proposed establishment of youth centers where they can apply for jobs and stuff.
Question.
I read.
You know, you can't ask another. You had two questions. One was to Mr. Jack Ma about resilience. How do you keep going? And when do you know it's time to move on? Yeah. Am I right? Yeah. And then for the entire panel, you wanted to know how do we...
How to increase... How to increase
information literacy among the youth.
Yes.
Awesome. Mr. Jack Ma, I'll start with how do we increase information?
I think increasing information literacy first is about the fact there is already connectivity. You can use the internet. There's a lot of advertisement. There's a lot of information that's already available. But the question is, when you receive it, how do you take it and what do you do with it? So at the moment we are working with most of the educational sectors, whether it's the students at university or even from Standard 1 where we're providing the laptops, to ensure people have access to information. The laws have been put in place in terms of access to information and so on. So that is already there for you. Unless you have something else to add, Mukisa? Yeah. So Jack, about resilience.
Yeah, the resistance. If I find that my customers are not happy about the services we give, and I found that my colleagues, no matter how hard they try, customers do not, I will stop it. That's very simple. For the first 3 years, Alibaba have no revenues. The only revenue we got was email of thanks from customers. When I got a lot of email thanks from customers, I know this thing will make money. If there's no email of thanks, if customer not happy, you know you are dying. So if something wrong with the business, it's always it's wrong with me. And I have to check myself whether the direction is right. And I have to check whether my colleagues make the right products. So this is all about. And also went to the next step. I give you every entrepreneur's advice. A lot of people have a lot of opportunities. If there are 9 rabbits on the ground, if you want to catch one, don't change the rabbit. Change yourself to chase one. Get that one first. Don't try this one, try that one, you go nowhere. For a startup, surviving is number 1. Focus on the things you love, you believe, your team love, your people believe, and your customer love. Focus on that one. And then start to go to the other area.
I got 9 rabbits. I'm going to focus on one because sadly time's up around here. I'm going to the purple top. Name and question.
My name is Dr. Kemwa. I'm a faculty of the University of Nairobi from College of Health Sciences. There are very few doctors in Africa. And I want to make myself suitable. I don't know if you do health-related things on Alibaba. I want to know how can I use Alibaba, 1, to maybe sell things maybe from China here in Kenya, or enable people here in Africa not to go to India, maybe to China. How can I do this?
Can I move that question on because I'm limited for time and I need something a little bigger. I'm going to move the microphone to the guy in the checkered shirt. Please disappoint me.
Hello, this is to Jack Ma. My name is Morgan Gidaya. I'm a student here and I'm also an entrepreneur. Okay, as you are starting out, you had a product that had not yet entered the world per se. How did you get the customer to like you? And 2, how are you able to teach the people you are working with your values and the vision for the company? Thanks.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
I want to talk to that question from the lecturer first of all. When we were planning this trip, I told Jack that one of the problems I have in Africa is when people hear that there are rich Chinese coming, they want to be their commission agents. They want to find out how they can sell Chinese things in their countries. At a meeting of business community this afternoon in Kempinski Hotel, I set out very, very clearly that our desire is not to help Kenyans to increase how much import from China. You already import enough. We want to say, how can we learn from what the Chinese are doing to also export our own? That mind shift is critically important for us. I'm not looking for commission agents. I'm looking for value creators who are going to ship out things. On the question of information, I was telling all the businessmen and women today that our hope is with the youth because they don't believe that Kenya is going to grow of doing the same things that their fathers have been doing before. For younger people who have listened to Jack Ma, there's an expression I like repeating. You can never wake up a person who is pretending to be asleep. If you have access to information and you're not using that power of that access, there isn't terribly much you can do about it. We just pray for you that you don't become infectious to others, particularly to younger persons. Thank you.
Yeah, the question to your young people as an entrepreneur, if first, when I start using the Alibaba, I want help small business. The first thing is I want help small business sell things online. This is the value. And then every people I hire, I tell him, this is something I want to do. Do you agree or not? And do you know how to do it better than I am? If you agree, join me. If you don't, if you think it's stupid, just don't join me. Find the people who, when you are a startup, especially when you're a startup below 20 people, that's the best honeymoon period, because you know everybody. Everybody you hire, talk to him. What do you want? How you can do better? And making sure he understands, making sure he has a better idea to deliver this value services better than you are. This is what we did. And I tell you an interesting story. I made a speech in Harvard, year 2001-2, talking about the value, vision, strategy, how to survive. One of the guys called David Wong, he used to working for GE. He said, Jack, your model never worked because you are crazy. How can you talk about the value mission in a startup, in the internet? Impossible. So I say, guy, Mr. Wong, please come to China, come to my company, spend some time, and we can talk. So he came to China half a year later, spent a full 3-4 days, and he came to me when he left. He said, Jack, I know you're crazy, but now I found there's 100 people crazy in your company. They all talk like you. They all think like you. Crazy people together, we never think we're crazy. We think the whole world is crazy. We believe it, we make things happening. So this is very important. It's difficult to convince the customer. But if you cannot even convince your own people, forget about it. So this is what I say, convincing your colleagues.
Seriously, press is ready. Jack Ma has another engagement, and I still have a few things, including taking a selfie with you guys. But the CS does want to get into a question here.
So, Jack, I know we talked about not waiting for government, but if you had an opportunity to have made a change or for something that the Chinese government would have done to make business better, what would you encourage for us as government to make life better for the Kenyan youth so that they can be able to get their businesses going?
The government should spend more money on the infrastructure. The government should incentive those entrepreneurs. Let them have a try. They fail, you collapse. They succeed, you collapse. Do not complain. The government also have a lot of complaint. Especially the innovation comes up, the government start to worry. They say, yeah, please have innovation. But when they really come to, oh my God, you challenge us. Challenge the way we manage the company in the traditional way. So I would say the government should think about internet company, try to build up the infrastructure, which you already do, and try to, if there's something wrong with the logistic companies, giving incentives to more startups doing logistics. If a payment is good, no good, giving more incentive to those companies doing the payment because you are building up the infrastructure of e-commerce. And this is what, and also training more people, work with the universities, that the university should encourage young people to try. So this is what we expected in China. Yeah.
If I may just talk to that. Partly I spoke to this when I was meeting with the business leaders this afternoon. In a country like Kenya, governments should serve Kenyans, not Kenya. How do I mean? I was with the president of Kenya and Jack Ma at the One Belt, One Road Summit in Beijing 2 months ago. And the president of China announced that the maritime road will end in Mombasa. That's the only point in the world that it's touching Africa. The government of Kenya should see its responsibility to use that momentum that all maritime trade between East Asia and the whole of Africa is through Mombasa. You build links between Mombasa and West Africa. You don't think about a border called Malaba. That is one step. A second step, government had a momentary mind slip when it legislated, authorized M-Pesa without understanding what it will do. That they took the risk to set up legitimately an enterprise whose possible negative consequences they could not comprehend. That is a facilitative government, not a regulative government. Government as an enabler is more important than government as a controller. That balance has to be maintained.
As we conclude, what would be your specific advice to this university and the other universities in this country and Africa?
I really want to share that university is going to face big challenges in the next 30 years. Most of the way we teach is from the last 200 years industrial period, but the knowledge. We try to teach people to remember more things, calculate faster, know more things. I tell you guys, next 30 years we'll be very disappointed because computer will remember much more things than people. They never forget. Computer calculate much quicker than you are. Computer never stops sleeping. They never sleep. So, it's the competition between human being and a computer. It's not how smart you are. It's how wise you are. How creative you are. How innovative you are. Machine will replace a nurse, but machine will not replace the care. Machine will maybe do a good job as a babysitter, but machine can never replace a mother. And I believe human beings have to study the way they study. The thing they learn should be different. We should not purely knowledge-driven. We should life experience, music, creative, teamwork. These are things the university, because I would say artificial intelligence, machine intelligence, when this time comes, a lot of jobs will disappear. A lot of jobs. What are the jobs that we need in 30 years, 20 years? That is the job machine cannot do. Universities start to prepare now. We people are lucky enough because we probably have another 10, 20 years. But our kids will have a problem. I'm sure. This is what exactly happened. First technology revolution, second technology revolution. So university, the curriculum, the way you teach, the content you teach, we have to think about now. Africa, good thing like China. We have a chance. Taking examinations or purely science knowledge based, we are no good. Then Europe, and America. But this is the chance. Let's think earlier. What are the things that 10, 20 years later we need? And start to prepare now, change. This is what I will say. Yeah.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing this to a close. We should have been elsewhere by now. So this conference after this, I do believe Dr. Ratansi is going to give us a vote of thanks. We do have a gift for you from the university, and because I don't want Jack Ma to sit down and get up and sit down and get up, give you the gift right here. He will give you your selfie, and then we will get Dr. Ratansi. I want that to happen in 5 minutes. Can we make this happen, guys? Say aye. Do this. So, what do you want, my friend? Not right now. Not right now. Not right now. I want the gift from the university now. Awesome. Kisa, I need you in that picture because you are in charge of the selfie stick in a moment.
I must stand here.
Yeah.
All right, it's going to be 4 selfies. 1, 2, 3, 4. So powder your nose. Those look good.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You did it. Very good. Yeah. You made it? That's good. Thank you. You make me more handsome.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, another one?
Let's move it along. Let's move it along.
Okay.
Serious, let's move it along. Let's move, please. Guys, he needs to be elsewhere. Thank you. Mukisa, please do the crowd the honor. Jack? Yeah. There you go, guys. And then just hit it. You know what to do? You can see who? Them. Okay, there. Yes. There. Turn around. One more there. Wonderful. Okay, I'll get you guys there. There you go. This way. Ah, nice. It's my phone. She won't go anywhere. Okay. Mr. Jack Ma, she's worried that it was a man's club. Come this way. Madame was left out. So this side, guys, come this way. Come this way.